Watkins Glen International is a historic track with several unique characteristics, starting with the terrifying flat-out S's that leaves you full throttle and blind over a crest in the road. There is the daunting bus-stop chicane where you thread the needle in 3 consecutive direction changes and hope that the car has the aerodynamic grip to cope with, and of course the boot section of the circuit where you feed yourself into 4 consecutive 3rd and 4th gear hairpins that all provide different challenges. In the sim racing world, it has been a staple of iRacing since the very beginning, having been on the sim for over a decade now. In that time, it has hosted more than its fair share of 6 hours at the Glen special events and World Championship rounds as recently as the Force Dynamics Dallara Grand Prix Series season opener. The version of Watkins Glen that we have is based on a 2007 scan of the circuit, which is significant when you consider that the track was repaved entirely in 2015. The track was stripped back to just a dirt road bed in some places of the circuit, which meant the repave led to many track records being broken as the new pavement proved to be considerably grippier and the track surface overall was actually smoothed out. So how does this change things for us on iRacing? Is the track grippier than before? Are there bumps and road surface changes where maybe there weren't before? That is precisely what we're going to be taking a look at today. When you load up the sim, the first impressions of this circuit are that it looks so much more alive and vibrant than the version we have been used to. Brighter colours are seen around the entire circuit, from the start-finish line being coloured in a bright blue and red, a cool blue littered around the course's Armco barriers and tyre walls, and a striking yellow and red colour replaces the once dull grey curbing. Even the road surface looks much nicer in its new form compared to the lifeless version we were used to, although it has to be said that some of the tyre marks are a little bit questionable in where the car was actually going at the time those skid marks were created. Even the grass itself is a far more vibrant colour, and just on that, when are we getting the new grass model that was teased ages ago at iRacing? The circuit has all the unique off-track features as you would expect, from the Jack Daniels Club on the inside of the S's to the Turn 10 Terrace, which beside it has a grandstand with some questionable seating arrangements. Overall, the grip levels of the racing surface itself don't seem to have improved as drastically as they did in the real world of racing. The significant improvement for me that I've seen is the total resurface means the patchy and inconsistent surface types of the old version are no more, meaning the circuit has a consistent grip level all the way from turn 1 to the final corner. Starting the lap and plunging into turn 1, you immediately notice that the track drops away less at the corner's apex. Previously, the road had a significant dip right at the apex, which allowed you to use the compression in the car to jump on the throttle earlier than usual. That has been smoothed out just a little bit on this new scan, meaning that getting right up to the apex isn't as critical as it once was. With wider curbing on the outer edge of the corner exit and with no more grass out there, you have more room to attack and maximise your corner exit speed in this new version of the track. Precision into turn 1 is less critical, but carrying speed out is always a significant factor in your lap time. The S's feel more open and less tight now, and the actual rise and eventual crest of the S's feels much more smoothed out now on this new scan. So cars that are a bit more area limited, such as let's say the Porsche Cup or even the NASCARs, may not be as sketchy through here as they once were. I remember on old tyres that were starting to overheat, this corner was always a pucker up zone. The bus stop chicane has also changed a bit, but this in my opinion is absolutely for the better. The previous curbs at the bus stop allowed you to straight line this corner majorly, especially on the first right-handed segment, where more often than not you are able to drive straight over the curb and focus entirely on the following double left. Now the curbs are far higher and less forgiving, meaning precision is needed more than ever through this complex of corners. Trying to take the same racing line as the previous layout of the circuit allowed you to leads to quite the bumpy experience, and more often than not puts you into an unrecoverable spin. The corners through the boot section feel essentially the same. The previous layout had various tarmac and concrete patching makeups, especially in the long right-handed corner, leading to some complicated throttle applications if your car positioning wasn't inch perfect. However, it is very nice to have the same surface type across the entire circuit in this new version of the track. This circuit continues to be a perfect all-around venue to race on, from your Formula vehicles of all speeds, V8 supercars, touring cars, NASCARs, and just about everything in between. Some of the rough curbings on corner exits have been removed in place of some flatter curbs too, such as the penultimate corner, allowing you to use more of the circuit without the risk of dropping a wheel off and rotating into the inside Armco wall like previously. I'm finding this track much more enjoyable to drive than the previous scan due to how much more flowing it feels. And the best part, of course, is that this track is free of charge, so in regards to the question asking if this track is worth your money, the answer is a very easy yes, because your wallet isn't even touched with this brand new rescan.